Hello and welcome to a special edition for Gone to the Dogs, as we are joined by the lads again, Michael Smart, Graham Banks, Chris Oliver, to go back over what's been a hectic week of ground racing, Category 1 action in Ireland, in England. We've got so much to go through. So, boys, morning, thanks for joining us again. We just had our team call. We said how we're going to go about this because we've got loads to get through. So, Chris, it's been a hectic last 6 days, but this is why we love the sport, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Where do you start over the last few days? What's going on? There's been so much top class racing, and yeah, looking forward to getting stuck into it. But it'll take us forever if we go through it all. But been some massive performances, and yeah, looking forward to all the rest of the heats this weekend and all the competitions, the finals, everything.
It is. We've set up a little rotary here. So we're going to go. Graham's going to go over Wednesday at Yarmouth. Michael's going to go over Romford Friday. Then we're all going to go through Ireland and have a look at the produce. Chris is going to go over Towcester, and we're all going to go through Nottingham that happened last night. So, yeah, we do know what we're doing here. We try and make it as scripted as we can without being too stiff. So, right, here we go. We're going to go back to last Wednesday, Yarmouth. And Romeo Steele, Graham got us off to a perfect start. And when you look at the results, you like these big roll ups when you get all these short things in. You heard about your little roll ups before. Now, that
Yeah,
could be the case on Wednesday, couldn't it? And, all six favourites won. It was a bloodbath for bookmakers. It was brilliant for punters who like betting short ones, and Romeo still got us off to a good start.
Yeah, it was a fantastic start for Patrick Janssens. I mean, I think if you said beforehand the track record would go on Wednesday, you probably would think Romeo still being Yancey Poe's favourite, a bit the obvious thought. But seeing Swift Depot doing 27.10, you're thinking, wow, that's some performance from Swift Depot. No one's expected that at all. I don't even John Mullins would have thought that would happen himself. But yeah, Romeo still got things off underway for the favourite backers who are all the way to success. I think nearly all the victories were won from the front on Wednesday. It could be more again tonight as well. A lot of front runners again. It could be a case where whoever leads wins semi-finals tonight.
Yeah, just watching back Swift Depot's race, and you've got to be really careful with these comments. You've got this why you got to watch replays. They've got middle to rails for Rolo Sabbath in 5. Now he just bang left the minute he could from the boxes, and I just give Swift Depot a lovely run into the bend. And once he's led, he's going to 508 sectional. It's insane. Some of these times the sectionals we're getting now at tracks are just incredible, aren't they? Like we're seeing things now that just shouldn't be able to happen, But look, it was a brilliant performance from Swift Depot. It was a bloodbath for bookmakers, as we said, and there were some eye catchers in there. I thought Bocco's Buster very good. I'm sure he was Ballymac Rapid in the derby over here. I'm sure he was Ballymac Rapid before coming over here. So yeah, we're going to quickly go through the three semi-finals as well. Who Dares wins in 1. Romeo Steele, Burrows Charm, Mr. James, Tiffield Tarquin, Burrows Eclipse. Graham, thoughts? I think we all set up along, start a competition. If
Yeah.
Romeo Steele traps 3 times in a row, he wins a competition. I'm not going
Yeah.
to do that.
No, I think that's still the case, Joe, to be honest. I think he did a 507 sectional last week. It's one of the quickest, just behind Swift Depot, I think it was. That sort of sectional again will lead 9 times out of 10. He does it again tonight and the final next week. He wins, I think. Tiffield Tarquin ran really well, went 2 spots quicker in the heats last week. So, trap similar as well, similar sectional times last week. So, it'd be interesting if they went head to head down the back straight. But it looks between those two, to be honest, at the moment.
I don't think they can go head to head to the bend though. I just think this why sectionals can be deceiving because this dog is just
Yeah.
so much more early than Tiffield Tarquin.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the sectional to the bend only to a certain point down the home straight. Obviously, from the sectional point to the bend, obviously Romeo's probably quicking up even quicker than Tiffel Tarquin would do. So, although they may go to a sectional point similar, is from that point there to the bend where Romeo still probably got the better early, can build up a nice little lead. And like I say, if he gets to the front, then he's going to be tough to reel him.
Yeah, semi-final 2. I Am the Dreamer, Harlequin Gambit, Bocco's Buster, Strathrannoch, one for Michael there at a big price, Brindle Bully, and Carite Fraud. Thoughts on this? Thought Brindle Bully ran really well. Bocco's Buster, I think he's a really nice dog going forward, extremely well bred. I think he takes all the beating.
Yeah, Bocco's Buster was 4-5 favourite last week, winning by a length and 3/4. Didn't show a great deal of early. Only did a 520 sectional, but like we say, he's shown pace to the bend after the sectional point. So again, he ran really well last week, and he could be the one to beat this week as well.
This is where we've gone, lads. we're saying didn't show great early, only did a 5:20 sectional. That is just crazy to think about, isn't it? Because if that was 10 years ago, you're thinking,
Yeah.
well, I've got a derby winner here because it's crazy how it's gone. Semi-final 3, Razzle Dazzle My Way. Who put that up? Chris. Was that Chris?
Yeah, that was one of mine. Yeah, that was my only one. Sorry.
Some shrewd Razzle Dazzle My Way. 2 right, not so steady. Dick Turpin, Swift Depot, The Mighty Man. We've got 3 heat winners in here. Graham, thoughts?
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, there's not an awful lot between them on the clock. The Mighty Man showed really good early pace. He did the 5:13 sectional, which is a pretty good in this lineup. It's a pretty good sectional, and he could go clear early. Not so steady. He did a 5:21. So there's not an awful lot between them. And on the sectional times and the end times, it's a case of whoever hits the front. You're thinking, will I get picked up, and possibly not.
Yeah, it's tough that because you can easily get the track record holder beat as well. He's not a track record holder where you're thinking he's going to be unbeatable. You can easily get Swift Depot beat. He's a brilliant dog. He's so consistent. Made the final, of course, last year as well. Yeah. So good luck to all of them on Wednesday. Michael, we're going to head to you. Wasn't a bad performance from Magical Luca on Friday, was it? He looks all right, this lad, doesn't he?
Yeah, it's not bad. Was it? Track record equaling 23-26. And it's crazy to say there could even be more to come. I think he's 2-13 for the heat on Friday and 4s on outright. So yeah, well done if you snapped up the odds outright last week.
Yeah, he's in trap 5 on Friday. He's got a decent enough race. We've got Vermithor in 1, Tasty Turkish Match on Luna, Jazzy George, Magical Luca, Stormy Pat. Same thing we said about Romeo Steele. I don't even think if he traps 3 times in a row, he wins. If he comes away a length behind, he still leads and wins. This dog is just, he could be anything. And how far he stays, we don't know. I think 450 probably be his max at this stage. Connections might have different thoughts, but he's ultra specialist. You look at his distances so far: 6.5, 8 1/4 in 3 races over here. He's just a machine, isn't he?
Yeah, I mean, these are some top prospects behind him, but they're 8 to 9 lengths behind on the clock, and it's just you can't, unless he proper misses the break, it's hard to see him getting beat. But yeah, he's not one to get involved with for myself on the prices, but obviously sit back, enjoy, and let's hope we've got a real superstar for the future of the sport.
Would you be happy being on, Chris, that 3-1 double, Magical Luca and Romeo Steele that we said before last week's heats?
I think you'd have to be, really, because they was both very impressive on the eye, wasn't they? And obviously Luca's done the clock as well. You're probably sitting pretty. They both got fair enough draws. So, yeah, you'd be pretty happy at 3-1 this stage. I mean, if you had that ticket in your hand now, you wouldn't be swapping it, would you? Certainly.
You wouldn't. Michael, what finishes second to him then in semi-final 1?
I think Vermithor will pace up, hold the rails, turn second, and probably qualify for the final.
Yeah, I'm with you as well. I think it looks a decent forecast, actually. Magical Luca to beat Vermithor in semi-final 1. Semi-final 2, Droopy's all the way. Who put that up?
Yeah, I put that up 20s.
This lad, he's got some stuff. Droopy positioning in 2. Aero Najim in 3. Who was that?
That was man.
Yeah, it's Chris.
We're on fire here. Bowman Sheeran in 4. Ted on fire in 5. I'm feeling the love in 6. I'll put up Magical Luca at 4-7. So cheers, lads. Semi-final 2, Mark. How do we see this?
Yeah, the Aero and the Gem, it really impressive. Ted on fire looks a proper Romford type. But I'm just hoping, obviously, we've put in Droopers all the way up. Qualified, grab second. But I think one of the early pace types will probably lead round and make all. Possibly Air on the Gem from trap 3.
Yeah, she was very impressive on Friday night. She really was. But Droops all the way, good makeup in 1 again. Looking to bounce back from a short price defeat last week. Semi-final 3, Underground Fizz in 1. Blackburn Bullet in 2. Scooby Diamond in 3. Jack Tavendon 4. Crafty Santino in 5. And Bluey Bullet in 6. On with 5, Crafty Santino. Just need to try and clear Jack Tavendon. That might be a bit of an issue, but I'll take a chance on 5. Michael, what about you?
It's a tough race. You sort of, at first glance, you sort of see the makeup of the race with the middle seeds, the wide seed, and my eyes just keep getting drawn to Underground Fizz. A little bit to make up on the clock, but the only railer in the race. It's a nice makeup. So again, it'll be see how the bookmakers price it up and maybe go with the only railer.
Yeah, Draw Swim Races got a great draw to work from again. Really well bred. Droopy Sydney, Droopy Sweet, October 23. So plenty more to come from him. So there's the semi-finals at Romford on Friday. Now we're going to head into Saturday, Chris. We'll come to you first for the Produce Stakes, the second round that we had on Saturday. We've got a different favourite now, Chris. It's changed. We've got Romeo Ability is now the anti-post favourite for the competition at Swindon on Saturday afternoon. Yeah. But we'll go through the heats. Izzy's 10 pin, a good winner, 28.46. We had Romeo Ability, 27.84, beating Romeo Alliance by 2 3/4 lengths. We then had Malcolm Bosch, 28.44, and Eagles Respect, 28.01. Good run from Eagles Respect. A nice dog who looked a really decent, solid anti-post bet before, when you could get the top two beat. I think was a decent enough price. But Romeo Ability, he got the better of Romeo Alliance. They are the two standouts in the competition. Has he took to the track as well, Romeo Alliance? I don't think he has.
Maybe not, no. I mean, it was a case of whoever got first run, and Romeo Ability got that. But he's been chasing home his brother a few times, at Towcester in the Juvenile Classic, the Puppy Classic at Nottingham. So now it's his turn to get the upper hand, and maybe he's taken to the track a little bit better. But I don't think Romeo Alliance lost a great day in the fade, didn't come away that well. Just Romeo Ability got first run. You wouldn't be surprised to see the tables turned, but it seems that Romeo Ability has taken to Swindon a little bit better than his brother. But they go against each other again on Saturday, and yeah, you wouldn't be surprised to see a table turn, as I say. But if Romeo Ability seems to have the upper hand at the moment around here, but it's great to see these two, arguably two of the best prospects in the UK, still leading the charge for the youngsters, really, going ever so well. Look, really nice sorts, both of them. You wouldn't mind only one of them two, would you? But they're both cracking sorts.
They absolutely are. And Romeo Ability, of course, got the better of Romeo Alliance in the Puppy final on Derby final night as well.
Yeah.
When they met there. So, yeah, that forms there. Michael, you've got the semi-final draws in front of you, haven't you? You're going to name mate. Go on, fire away.
Yeah, so the first semi-final, we've got Bertie's decision, Topis Esme, She's 180, Pin Position, Malcolm Bosch, and Dreaming Ringo in semi-final 1. So that one looks wide open. Second semi-final looks a hot affair. We've got Izzy's 10 pin in 1, Eagles Respect in 2, Topis Freedom in 3, Romeo Ability in 4, Signet Layla in 5, and Romeo Alliance in 6.
I'm glad you're doing these, Chris. What do you think?
I'll probably stick with Malcolm Bosch in the first one. I know he's going to have to do it the hard way, but it seems to be his game, and I was quite impressed with him. I know he got me to find the clock, but yeah, I was quite impressed with him on Saturday. And as for the other one, the Big Clash, and that's a cracking heat. I thought Eagles Respect was impressive from off the pace. Didn't lead Sarnet early on Saturday and still won. But I'd probably have to stick with Romeo Ability, I think, just on what we've seen so far. But that's a cracking semi-final and one very much to look forward to.
Yeah, we had that on Saturday afternoon. Saturday night, we see something ultra special. And we said to people, whatever you're doing it, I think it was 8:18, was it? Stop what you're doing at around, no, not 8:18, it was 8:32. Stop what you're doing around 8:30 and just tune in to watch this, because it was very unfortunate we lost Bocco's Diamond in the week leading up to the race, but we had proper ARS against Cheap Sandwiches. We all hope Bocco's Diamond's okay. I think he is. I think by all accounts he's okay, but they weren't going to take any risk with Bocco's Diamond, and just a bit of a mishap on the gallop in the week. So we all wish Bocco's Diamond the very best going forward. I'm sure we'll see him back soon. But proper ARS, Cheap Sandwiches. This was one of the races of the year, lads. Third round of the Boyle Sports Irish Grand Derby. Proper ARS getting a better of Cheap Sandwiches by a length, 29-27. He set his stall out. He's now anti-post favourite alongside Cheap Sandwiches for the Great Irish Grand Derby. Graham, this was just unbelievable to watch, weren't it?
Yeah, I mean, it's one that, like you say, it's probably one of the most talked about races this year, certainly since the Grand Derby final back in June. But it's what you want. You want the UK to be represented across in the Irish Derby with a real classy dog, and we've got it with proper ARS. We've got probably the best chance now of winning this Irish Derby we've had for many a year. And with a performance like that, you can't argue against him. He's done everything that he needed to do. He's trapped well. He's knuckled down and battled when Cheap Sandwich drew alongside around the third and fourth bend. You're thinking, can he hold off Cheap Sandwich? But he's held him off well and drew clear at the finish. So, he looks the one to beat. I think he's 3-1 favourite now to win it outright, and you couldn't go against him at the moment.
He's got a great draw as well. I'm going to stick with it, lads. That it's just against the top. Just maybe lacks that middle pace against the top dogs, but he stays all day. Like, he then puts races to bed from the fourth bend to the win line again, as we saw the other day against Cheap Sandwiches. And Michael, it was just brilliant to watch. It was ground racing and everything we love about the sport. And it was made even better by, of course, Ian Fortune's commentary, who is just, he's different gravy when he gets going. And that it does add to the race, doesn't it? When you're hearing that and the excitement, and then you're getting the crowd involved, it really does add to what was just an unbelievable spectacle.
Yeah, I've seen a few comments on social media sort of saying if you don't enjoy that kind of race, we're in the wrong game. So yeah, it was amazing. Like you say, massive shout out to Ian Fortune for the commentary. Sort of took me back to sort of Errol Blythe back in the day with Westmead Hawk, that kind of thing. Really building the race up into the finish. And Proper Heiress, I think he was 4 or 5s during the week for the heat and 12s outright. And we flagged him up in the preview show. Obviously, that's long gone. 7-2 is the best price available now. Joint favourite with Cheap Sandwiches, and the two leading contenders for the Oil Sports Irish Greyhound Derby.
Absolutely. There were 7 other heats then, and we have got to go through them as well, because it wasn't just all about Proper Heiress and Cheap Sandwiches. Unanimous Leo, good winner, 29.58. Single on Curly, 29.52. Shanahy Bomber, 29.42, a very good run. Ballymac Stud, we lost Bombay Pat in Heat 5. He went out back in 4th. Ballymac Stud, 29.35. Droopy's Deploy was a good winner, 29.91, coming from behind. Check for Cash keeps doing the business, beating Deladi Dar in 29.58. And Magical Mag, again, very quick away, 3.36 sectional, 29.51. As we look forward to Saturday night's quarterfinal, we'll go with quarterfinal 1 because we've got Cheap Sandwiches in there. Chris, what do we think? He's in trap 5. He's got Unanimous Leo in 4. Droopy's Deploy in 6. I think it's just the consistency of the very best dogs, isn't it, that just sets them apart. They can get beat by nice dogs every now and again, but they're so consistent. I was talking to Ryan before the second round. I said, I think we can get Cheap Sandwiches beat here. And then they go around the first bend and you just think, well, that was stupid, weren't it? Because just forgetting how good they are, and they really are the cream of the crop, aren't they, dogs like him?
Absolutely, yeah. And it's as you say, the consistency of the company's mixing in, and to be able to the consistency to be thereabouts at the finish against the likes of Bocco's Dam and all these top class Proper Heiress, he's always thereabouts. And I think he's really coming to hand now. He's improved each run on the clock in this competition, so he could be just peaking at the right time. And Graham Mullins a master at doing that. So yeah, I'm expecting a big performance on Saturday, and I expect him to win that heat. I think the draw's worked out. I know he's got the 6 on his back, but Droopy's Deploy isn't the quickest away. I think he'll have the outside to himself. And we saw how he rushed into the bend on Saturday after not a great break. And if he comes with anything like, I think he'll lead this field and he'll take some catching.
Absolutely. Michael, we're going to come to you for quarter-final 2. Magical Mag in 1, Happy Jet 2, Ballymac Stud 3, Shanahy Bomber 4, Boomer, in 4, Blast Off Hefo in 5, and Tarzan Masai in 6. Thoughts on this? Magical Mag, pop out, make all, or will Ballymac Stud have something to say?
I'm actually with Shanahy Boomer. It's the one I put up in the editorial piece we put up before the Greyhound Derby. I put Shanahy Boomer up and Hussein Pickles, both are still in the competition, so I'll be on track 4 for Saturday night.
If anyone wants any anti-post selections going forward, just speak to Michael Spy. Follow him on Twitter, on X, or whatever we call it nowadays. Just get in touch with this man, because he never seems to go without getting one to a big final. So he's each way, profit and loss must be through the roof, this man. Semi-final, quarter-final 3. Graham, we'll let you do the honours of this one, shall we? Proper Heiress in 1, Single on Curly 2, Phoenix Memphis in 3, Check for Cash in 4, Glengar Silent in 5, and Magical Sapphire in 6. On paper, looks fairly straightforward, but ground racing doesn't work like that for Proper Heiress, will it, Graham? But you should win.
Yeah, I mean, like Michael, I'm going to stick with Proper Heiress. That was my anti-post selection as well, 25-1. I stayed loyal to the British dogs. Yeah, I mean, on paper, it looks not a simple task, but it's a race you think if he won well last Saturday, a similar performance you think on Saturday again, we'll see him win on Saturday. But, you've got the likes of Check for Cash that went really well, made all the money last week as well.
Through the comp so far?
Sorry?
and beaten through the comp so far.
Yeah, exactly. So I think I think Popperis is the one to beat still. I think sometimes you need a bit of luck, and I think in the previous round when Popperis missed a break and he looked like he might be in trouble around the first bend, and then the two dog moved off and he had a lovely run round. You're thinking, is that the sort of luck you need to win an Irish Derby? And he's got past that. He showed his best on Saturday, and I think he'll be the one to beat again on Saturday. Never all the way to success.
Okay, we'll come to you, Michael, for the last one because you have got St Pickles. I'm going to throw in there that I've got Ballyhooly Bruno at 80-1, who goes in the fourth quarter final. So I chucked him in at 80-1. So Ballyhooly Bruno in 1, Barefoot on Song 2, Oreo Ollie in 3, Deladi Da in 4, Rural Pest in 5, and St Pickles in 6. Deladi Da, another quarter final, Michael. I think he's the cleverest dog I've seen for years, and his track craft is sensational. Yeah, I'm going to chuck you Ballyhooly Bruno 80-1 as these lads are all singing their own praises with who they've got left. So I'll join them. We've got an 80-1 shot in the last 24. We're pleased with that. But Michael, we'll come to you, St Pickles as well. This is a good race. If he was in Bardy Dart, if he was in 1, I'd say, yeah, he takes all the stopping. But that draw cow, it can be a little bit tricky for him. But if anyone's going to overcome it, it's him.
Yeah, like you say, he's a proper competition dog, isn't he? He can win from the front, he can turn mid-pack and qualify. I think looking at the makeup of the race, I think Rural Pest in trap 5 for Graham Holland looks the likely leader. For the anti-post pick, like you say, St Pickles, well drawn as the solo wide seed. So I'm just hoping for qualification there. And I think she's likely to be fighting out with your anti-post selection, who'll be staying on well from trap 1, Ballyhooly Bruno.
Yeah, I was disappointed with him on Saturday. I thought he turned in a really good position. Didn't show too much and qualified in the end. But look, he's through, and that is the most important thing. So pleased with that. As we move on to Sunday, it just gets better and better. We got the Empress Stakes taking place at Towcester. Chris, we're going to fire away with you through this. Single on Molly was the first heat winner. Sylvia Hill Freya, the second one, the quickest of the day, 28.71. Silent Morgan, 29.21. Strike It Sky, very impressive. She's a good bitch, 29.18. Baroness Velvet, 29.52. And Lily's Bullet, 29.59. Now, Silver Hill Freya, 28.71. Chris, she's special, isn't she? We've seen how good she was at Nottingham, to be fair. She was unlucky in the select stage. She just didn't quite get a run when she needed one, but she's very, very fast, and she's shown that on Sunday. And fair play to Team Holland for supporting the competition. They had a 1-2, of course, with Bocco Sapphire chasing her home as well.
Yeah, good to see. We didn't get to see the best of her in the select stakes. We know what she's capable of, winning the Christmas Oaks at Shelburne, the Cork Oaks as well, and she's shown what she's capable of here. It was a fantastic run. First competitive start of the track. She could even improve for this. Lovely burst of early speed, and she saw the trip out really well from a kennel mate. So, yeah, she's the one to beat. She was the eye catcher, but I was also very impressed, as you said, Joe, with Mark Wallace's Strike It Sky. 3 from 3 at Towcester now, and she can do it both ways as well. She's a real strong sort, as we saw on Sunday when she came from off the pace. Again, she's very, very lightly raced compared to some of these. I think Mark Wallace could have a really special bitch on his hands here. I think there'd be more to come from her. So, yeah, Silver Hill Freya, absolutely headline catcher, but Strike It Sky was certainly one for the notebook for me. I think I'd love to see what she's going to do going forward.
Yeah, she's 4 from 5, and that defeat was behind Turn the Magic On, who looks a monster, doesn't he? A Monmouth. So a track that probably wouldn't really suit her, but she's still in 27.86 round there. So, yeah, she's very, very good. Michael, I'm coming to you. I hope you got the draws. Are they done?
Yes, I put a piece out for the site yesterday. Let me get that. And I spoke to Patrick Cooney from the sponsors. He was sort of saying, from Bet365's perspective, he thinks there might be a lot of railers that get through here. So the ones that jump out at me, then you've got Ballymac Kinga and Single on Molly as the wide seeds, available at 20-1 for the pair. There could be a bit of value out wide there. The semi-final draws.
Single on Molly, that looks a big price. Yeah, she's we know how good she is. We've seen in the derby. Well, how good she was. She had cheap sandwiches in the quarter final.
Yeah, semi-final 1. We've got Signet Morgan in 1, Make It Lorraine in 2, Yahoo Moretti in 3, Strike It Skies in trap 4, Bocco Sapphire in 5, and Indian Floyd solo middle seed in trap 6. Okay. The second semi-final got Baroness Velvet, BT's Razzle, Arthur Minute, Coppisoft Sapphire, Fabulous Ricky, and solo wide seeds Ballymacinga. And the third semi-final, Lily's Bullet, Bacardi Bullet, Silver Hill Freyers in trap 3, Scared Josie in 4, Chapter in 5, and solo wide seed Single on Molly in trap 6.
Scared Josie Angel of the North winner not too long ago. But yeah, this is all about Silver Hill Freya there, Chris, for me. Good draw in semi-final 3.
Yeah, it's hard to see not leading that field up, isn't it? And once she's in front, that should be that. So yeah, I think the draw's worked out really nicely for there.
It certainly has. Right, now that is Sunday. Now let's head to Monday. And we're finally at our last day, and these lads can go off and do their work. We had the start of the PGR Classic. Was it the PGR St Ledger or the PGR Birmingham Cup?
PGR St Ledger.
And the Arcs Birmingham Cup. Yeah. There you go. Yeah, we knew we were there or thereabouts. We had the start of them 2 competitions in Nottingham on Monday. Track records galore. Mongy's Wild and Droopy's Flair both breaking the track record, even though one of them was in defeat in Droopy's Flair. But we're going to start with the Birmingham Cup with Cornet Brer. I think that's how you say it. I think we're going to stick with that. Was a winner in the first quarterfinal, first heat. 24 dogs in each competition. Wow, 20 dogs in the St Ledger, which is extremely disappointing, I must say, for the prestigious 6-Ben race that it is. But we'll start with the Birmingham Cup. Corner Brer beating Kunigar User Zebedee Clauser in 28.66. Michael, I'm looking at you now for the draws for the semi-final. As we move on to the second heat, was Droopy Superstar getting the better of Unanimous Leon in 28.24 from coming from off the pace to beat him. Charles Bear done the business 28.28 from off the pace, beating Single on Rex and Droopy's Artillery. And Droopy's Aladdin 28.03. Overcome a very difficult draw to get the better of Toddy Stank and Kilmore Dancer. We talk about this dog a lot now, fellas. Droopy's Aladdin. Graham, I'll come to you. He's getting, the more experience this dog has, he's getting used to these unfavourable draws that he gets, because there was a time where if he was in 4, there was no way he could win. Now he's finding ways to overcome them, isn't he? And he's turning into a really, really nice dog, and of course a recent track record holder here.
Yeah, I mean, as you say, he keeps getting these awkward draws, but I think with these competitions, there's so many railers getting entered now. He shows such good early pace to keep qualifying, but as so many railers keep qualifying as well, he's just really unlucky if the draw doesn't get the traps 1 or 2 that he probably needs. He ends up out of 3 and 4, but like you say, he's getting across to the rails. His early pace really, really sort of plays into his hands. If he can produce one of his better breaks and get across to the rails, he's proven really difficult to beat, and he's getting stronger and stronger as every race goes on now. And if he ever gets a trap 1 or 2 in these competitions, he can go all the way.
Give us the draws, Michael. Give us the semi-finals.
Yeah, so Birmingham Cup semi-final. Kunigar User in trap 1, Droopy Superstar in trap 2, Unanimous Liam in 3, Chelms Bear from trap 4, Zebedee Cluasa from 5, and Toddy's Tank in trap 6. The second semi-final is Kilmore Dancer in 1, Single on Rex in 2, Corner Breath in 3, Droopy's Aladdin in trap 4, Droopy's Artillery in 5, and Brinkley's Louis in trap 6.
Chris, thoughts?
I'll pass over to Michael. I haven't got the draws in front of me, and try to remember back after that. I'm struggling.
Yeah.
Michael, come on. Give us the winners, Michael.
I'll go for Nathan Hunt's Zebedee Cluasa in the first one from trap 5. I think with Chelms Bear on the inside, he's got a nice make-up to lead round. The second one, Droopy's Aladdin, obviously will try and lead from trap 4. If Kilmore Dancer can hold the rails, massive runner, and Brinkley's Lewis out wide as the solo wide seed has claims.
Yeah, I'm Droopy's Aladdin. I think he can overcome that draw again to win there. Single on Rex, he'll have to try and get the better of 384 sectional. Ridiculous, to be fair. 382 from Droopy's Aladdin now in the quarterfinals or first round. So, yeah, 2 very good semi-finals. I think Droopy's Aladdin deserves one. I think there's no way he's going to go without winning a big competition. He's too fast, and this might be the one. No disrespect, you've got some nice dogs in there, but you haven't got the absolute elite that are taking place in this. And the 480 Nottingham can be a bit of a strange trick, Graham, can't it? It's that shorter run to the bend, and you can be quite draw dependent from it, but it's nice to see a competition over there. I just wish I'd change it from the Birmingham Cup to the Nottingham Cup.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, that sort of the distance probably suits Droopy's Aladdin with his early pace and get to the front on a longer run to the bend. Sometimes you obviously get. He sometimes got more
and a fast track as well.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it kind of plays into his hands, doesn't it? It gets out in front, and like Romeo saw at Yarmouth tonight, gets out in front. It proves hard to beat over these sort of distances. But I'm a big fan of Chelm's Bear, and similar sort of comments. Last year, Drew was letting win one as well, but this could be Chelm's Bear's chance when a competition there's no proper areas about. So, if he's qualifying, which he's got a awkward draw in trap 4 in semi-finals, but if he gets through to the final, then I'd love to see him win a big one as well.
Yeah, definitely. Good luck to all the 12 remaining in that, and it's nice to see 3 through as well for the semi-finals. I'm a massive advocate for 3 qualifiers from the semi-finals going into the final, so it's nice that we have got that as well. As we move on to the Premier Ground race in St Leger, that's right, Michael, isn't it? The PGR St Leger. Thank you. I can see it on the way there in agreement. As we look ahead to that, we look back on that. Sorry, from last night. A bit of a boil up in the first. There was only 4 runners in the end. Wolf Rebel come out lame. So Peters Electra was your winner at 7-1, beating Garfinny Blazer Neck and Droopers Flotilla, qualifying back in third, 44.68. We then had Daring Mona beating Deadly Disco this track, and this trip is throwing up some big price or short price defeats. 1-9 Deadly Disco, 25-1 put up by Michael Smythe in our team call yesterday morning. He snapped a 25-1. He snapped the 1-6 that was available yesterday, and he's been done at 9 yesterday by Daring Mona. Michael, talk to us. What happened?
Just to clarify, I was not on for the race. But yeah, never got going. Never looked like getting there for me. I think it was around the third bend. He made the move, and I thought, here we go. And it just never materialised. It's just like he didn't run the track for some reason. But yeah, he's got a lot to make up on the main players, shall we say. But yeah, on to the semi-finals with him. The main thing, qualification. That's what it's all about.
I just don't think you can trust the dog, Chris. He throws in too many of them bad runs for me. He's got all the pace in the world. We've seen that. But he throws in the odd stinker, doesn't he?
He does, yeah. And in hindsight, he'd not had a look around the track, so maybe it wasn't that much of a surprise. Obviously, it's very much looking back, because I wasn't late at 1-9, but it's a tricky track to run first time up Nottingham. And as Michael said, he never looked happy, really. No. He was never going, and he never looked like catching Daring Mona. So there's a possibility with that under its belt. It could be a different dog next week, but you're right. He is a bit inconsistent. We know he's got loads of ability, but he doesn't put 2 runs together the same, really. So, but yeah, I think he'll come on for that run and a look around Nottingham.
And he did look very similar, Graham, to Mongies Wild in his first race at Nottingham. I know he trialled over 680, but he looked very similar to him in his Select Stayers race, didn't he? Where he didn't seem comfortable. And he might come on for that now, as we have seen with Mongies Wild, who we're going to come on to in a minute.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, it's similar, very similar performances. Mongies Wild and that behind Fabulous Heck at that time just didn't look comfortable. Never looked to be going at any stage. You're waiting for a big run, going off at 1-12, whatever it was. You're thinking, he's going to start kicking in at some point. You start going through the gears, and it just didn't really happen. And I guess it was the same with Deadly Disco last night. The first time around the track, you think, where am I? Is it in Oxford or wherever I've been before? It takes a bit of getting used to sometimes around Nottingham, and I think, like Chris said, it could be a completely different dog next time out with that run behind under his belt.
Does Nottingham suit wide runners?
Depending on who the wide runner is, I guess. I mean, if you've had a trial before and had a look round, then maybe so. But Mongies Wild, I don't know, isn't a wild runner, but it takes certain dogs more of a look around, getting used to a track more than others. But yeah. I guess it's down to the dog. It has to be down to the dog, I guess. There's no real
competitions we have over there, and what I know, we've got a shed load of railers. I understand that. There are some nice wide runners out there still, and never seem to really win the comps around there, do they? It's always a lot of railers winning the Eclipse, and National Sprint's different, I suppose, because it's pure speed from that trip, isn't it? But yeah, I don't know. Just maybe look, people add in the comments, whoever's watching, does it suit wide runners? I'm not sure. So as we move on to the third race, and this was a brilliant buckle, Mongies Wild against Droopy's Flair. We knew it was a match race. I said in my notes that competitive fitness might just get the better of Droopy's Flair, and we wanted to be on Mongies Wild there. He won in track record time 43.82. Droopy's Flair broke the track record, was beat 3 parts of a length in defeat. Savannah Regimental back in third. But Chris, this was a great performance from him. It was nice to see him do this after question marks after the select stakes, select stairs, whether he takes to a track. He's put them doubters wrong. He beat Vega by nearly 10 lengths in the trial last week, and he's done that now in the race against a very, very good bitch, and she will come up for that run.
Yeah, first and foremost, Sean Parker must be absolutely delighted with Droopy's Flair's run. Been off since March. That first run back to get within 3/4 of a length of Mongies Wild, and a dog that's absolutely smashed the track record. I think 29 spots, off Fabulous Hecker equalled. So he's not just broke, he's absolutely smashed it. So for Droopy's Flair from the first run back to get within 3/4 of a length, he must be absolutely delighted. But back onto Mongies Wild, yeah, it's good to see him back in the winners' enclosure. That run in the select stayers, was too bad to be true, really. It's never looked like him at all, never like going. But the trial was much better, as you said, and this was much more like him. Made to work very hard by Droopy's Flair, but they've pulled a long, long way of Savannah Regimental. So it shows you what a great performance by both dogs it was. So the clock showed that as well. But I'm excited to see what Droopy's Flair can do next week with that one under its belt. So it's very much game on in terms of the competition, I think. So Mongies Wild might not just have it all his own way if Droopy's Flair's got something to say about it.
Definitely. And the fourth and final first round heat, Fabulous Hecker 13-8, beating Vega by 3 lengths, who led to the fourth bend. Fabulous Hecker 44 dead. Coffee Tigers back in third. I feel for Carol Weatherall. My boss, Cloner Ice, just absolutely walked out the box. He's got beat 2.5 lengths in the end for qualifying. But a great performance from Fabulous Hecker, who was the track record holder, of course, when winning the select stayers. And Michael, a brilliant performance from her to catch Vega, because we all know how good she is.
Yeah, it's sort of like, as you looked at the makeup of the race, I fancied Vega to lead round, and I thought if Hecker turns within 3 or 4 lengths, I thought the Patrick Jansen's trained bitch would hit the front and pull clear, and that's how the race went. 13-8 looks value now, doesn't it?
Hindsight's never wrong. Hindsight's never wrong, Michael.
Nice draw in the semi-final as well, but she's in a hot heat, so yeah, I'm sure we'll come on to that shortly.
Go on, throw us to semi-finals. What we got?
So down the card, the first semi-final, Coffee Time Guys, Fabulous Hecker, Droopy's Flair, Mongies Wild, Droopy's Flotilla, and Savannah Regimental in Trap 6.
Best, Greyhound, to you in dissecting that for us, mate. Good luck, Gray.
Yeah, I mean, you think Droopy's Flair can lead off again like he did last night, and it's going to be a case of whereabouts Mongies Wild turns. I mean, if he turns handy like he did last night, it's a case of when he picks them up, sort of thing, rather than if. But if he gets held up a little bit in the early stage and Droopy's Flair goes off in front, then you never know. Sean Parker's pitch may reverse and form this time out, but you think he looks between those two on paper anyway.
I think Coffee Time.
Question, John. Do you think Droopy's Flotilla will go rails from Trap 5?
Definitely. I think her in 5 and Coffee Time Guys in 1 give Fabulous Hecker a nice run. Now, whether she could be, it sounds disrespectful, she'd be a goalkeeper to Droopy's Flair that just allows Mongies Wild to pick up the pieces when he needs to. I think the draw's worked out perfect for Mongies Wild.
Yeah.
I think that Droopy's Flotilla is going to be out his way early. Fabulous Hecker will be out his way, and so will Droopy's Flair. I think that they could all spoil each other's race here, and it could just weave the way for him to do his stuff. So yeah, I'm with Mongies Wild. I think the draw's worked out really well for him. So I'm going to be with him. I can't look past him in that. Guys, just quickly, thoughts?
Yeah, I think it's. Sorry, go on, Michael.
We always do that.
So. No, I was going to say, I'd be leaning towards Droopy's Flair leading round. I do believe Flotilla will move rails, but I think Flair can probably hold him to the bend, lead round, and then you're looking, like you say, what Graham mentioned, Mongies Wild turning in a pitch, Hecker turning in a pitch. I think it's set for a thrilling semi-final. And like you mentioned before, Joe, with free qualifying, it's really good, and we should get a top final out of the semi-finals.
Chris, quickly.
Yeah, it's a tricky one, isn't it? Mongies Wild turned second yesterday. I'm not so sure he'll turn second again on Monday night. So if Droopy's Flair does get on the bunny again, then it could be a different story. But I suppose you've got to say Mongies Wild still the one to beat. But ever so impressed with Droopy's fair last night with their run on a comeback. So yeah, I'd probably just go beat Mongi's Wild, but I think it'll be a hell of a race.
Graham, who are you with?
You have to go with Mongi's Wild, I think, but I just think it's good at the moment. We were talking about a few weeks back that Mongi's Wild looks to be unbeatable and we can't see him getting beat, but now we're talking about possibly getting beat. So it's good for the six bend division and the marathon division that there's a bit of competition about him at the moment. So he's not going to get things all his own way. I still think he's the one to beat, but yeah, it's good to see he's got some competition at last.
Yeah, I think we forgot about how special Droopy's Flair was before she went off the card, wasn't she? She looked, she was a revelation, to be fair. So
she looked really useful at Central Park, when she got the track record that time. So yeah, she looks really useful. She only lightly raced still, so she's been off since March, bound to improve on the heat run yesterday. So yeah, you wouldn't be surprised if she makes all the running, but like we say, I think Mongi's Wild still the one to beat.
And part of that brilliant litter with Droopy's Kathleen as well, of course. So who we are hoping to see over at Dunstall Park for the Oaks. Michael, semi-final 2. What we got?
Yeah, down the card, Daring Mona in 1, Tricky's Buttons in 2, Beatty's Electra in 3, Garfini Blaze in 4, Vadar in 5, and Solar White Seed Deadly Disco in trap 6.
She's a really consistent bitch, Beatty's Electra, isn't she? To her own level, against the top. It's very tough, but she's very consistent. She got good early. Graham, we'll start with you. Thoughts on that? Vega?
Yeah, Vega's the one that catches the eye. I mean, he looks certain to lead on the outside, and I got beat up yesterday by February 2nd, but on the clock, they're well clear of the other 2 heats. So if he does hit the front again this time, it would take a really serious effort from behind to get caught. But like I say, Deadly Disco could improve on yesterday's run. Now had to look around the track. You wouldn't be surprised to see him finish a lot closer tomorrow in the semi-final one.
I've just realised I've just changed my name from Danny to Joe. I've been on it 45 minutes. So sorry, Danny. Michael, thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, like we touched on Deadly Disco before, has to improve from the first look round. But chances, it's well drawn as a Solar Wide Seed. Beatty's Electric could lead round. Vadar as well. Garfini Blaze will be staying on. It's not got the same class as the first semi-final, but it's ultra competitive. So, yeah, I'll be leaning towards Deadly Disco at a price, hopefully.
Chrissy, final word?
Yeah, I think Vega leads, and you're looking at Deadly Disco and Garfini Blaze in behind. The both of them should improve for last night's run. Garfini Blaze probably would have needed that after about 6 weeks off, and Deadly Disco not being round. So I think it'll be game on then. Can they catch up with Vega? I'd probably just go with Vega, but it's a hell of a race, and it's not one I'd like to nail the colours to any one master, I don't think.
It is. There we have it. We have dissected the whole of the week for you guys of what's happened over the last week of ground races. So we are going to be back next week to do exactly the same when we're one step closer to finals, and we'll see what happens over the next few days. So guys, thanks for your time. Have a great week. We'll be back next week to do the exact same again.